customer feedback. Without it, we've got nothing. Without it, we have just a sign on the door telling people we're DJs and no one to tell anybody that we're great except for us. Hi, I'm Bill. This is Creative License, and thanks again for being a part of today's Dog and Pony Show. Thanks again to my great sponsors like DJN-TV, Disc Jockey News, DJ Event Planner, Promo Only, Electro Voice, speakers and microphones, and of course my workshop, The Entertainment Experience. So, got to get customer feedback to be able to get gigs. Got to have gigs to be able to get customer feedback. Yeah, that's kind of how it works. But if you've done any kind of gigs and you don't have customer feedback, maybe it's because you haven't asked for it. Maybe you haven't asked for it because you're afraid of what you might hear. Either way, ask for it. Because either way, if it's bad feedback, or rather if it's feedback telling you you're awful, at least you'll get the feedback and you'll know that you're awful. You can ask more questions about what you can do or what you could have done to be better. Customer feedback is kind of the whole lifeblood to being able to do what we do for a living and continue to do what we're doing for a living. Because if you don't know what your customers think of you, you don't know how to grow. If you don't know what they're saying about you, you don't know what to say in your marketing about what people are saying about you or about the things that are important to the people who might be looking for you. Plus, nowadays, I don't know about you, but everybody's living and dying on YouTube. And they're looking for video on YouTube or on, sorry, not on YouTube, but even TikTok and Instagram and YouTube. It's all video is what I'm trying to say. So if you don't have video of your customers touting your wonderfulness, why don't you have it? You're afraid to ask? Get over that. You need to go and do it. There are some guys that will, right at the end of an event, as their assistant or their partner is tearing down, go over and put a camera right in front of the bride and groom while they're still sweating and half drunk and say, "What do you think of the DJ?" There's a testimonial right there. Very few of them are going to say, "Get that camera away from me. You suck, and I didn't want to do anything about this, and I hate you, and I don't want to talk about it." I've never seen anybody do that. At the end of your wedding, you're really excited to say, "Oh my gosh, Bill, the DJ was amazing. Terry, the DJ was the most amazing thing I ever saw." Okay, great. Look at that. There's testimonial right there. But you might want to go a second farther than that. What I suggest is you send out a testimonial form, actually a form asking for feedback, an actual feedback form, asking really hard questions, questions that they may have to answer in ways that you don't necessarily want to hear, but you need to know. Did I show up the way you needed me to? What would you give me 1 out of 10 when it comes to being on time or being there for you or playing the music you wanted or all the things that you think that you want to know? Ask them to say, what was the worst thing about the wedding reception? What are the bad things about the wedding reception that I worked for? What can you tell me that I could have done better? These things are actually more valuable to you than the actual testimonials they're going to give. And trust me, if they give you, "This is how I think you should be better," they're also going to give you a testimonial about how awesome you are, because you have the guts to ask the question. Now, you want to take the extra step further is get to them with a video camera. Not only ask them for the testimonials, and to ask them to put it out on Wedding Wire or The Knot or those places, Google reviews or reviews on Facebook, Instagram, those places, but get to their house. Bring a bottle of wine. Thank them for doing business with you and sit down with a camera across from them, just like I'm doing here, and say, "So, let me ask you a few questions about your wedding." See if you can get them talking. Because if you get video of them going, "Oh my gosh, it was weeks ago, but I can't tell you, I can't stop thinking about it. My mom and dad can't quit raving about it." That's gold, man. And you're letting that gold sit over there. Because trust me, if you're really good at what you're doing, they are still talking about that wedding months afterwards, sometimes years afterwards. They just have to have the nudge of being asked, and they will do it for you. But if you're not asking, you're never going to get it. And if you're not asking the hard questions, you're never going to know what it is you have to actually improve on to be better at what you do. You're just going to keep doing the things that you think are cool and not necessarily what you need to know to be sure that you are the best you can actually be. And no one can tell you that better than the people who pay money to have you do it for them. All right, what do you think of this? How do you collect this information? Do you collect this information, and do you think any of this has anything to do with anything? Write it in the comments below. Tell me what you think. I'm Bill. This is Creative License, and I will see you next week.